You know what's crazy? Most advisors think they're marketing, but they're just posting into the void. Tax tips, motivational quotes, zero engagement. Here's the truth. Without a big idea, you're not building a brand. You are building noise. No foundation. One storm, and it's gone. Today, I'll show you why your content isn't converting. We will discuss what a big idea funnel really is and how pros use it to attract clients like gravity.
Rob Sousa here from sunny Southern California for another episode of the Digital Advisor Weekly. Thanks for joining us on whatever platform you're joining us on. We're glad to have you. Post where you're watching from. We encourage you to participate in the chat discussion. We'll answer questions in real time. And the collaboration is what we're looking for. So whether you're watching this live or in replay, make sure that you are reaching out and getting the questions that you have answered. And we will make sure we give you as much of value as possible. Stick around to the end because we have something for you that will help you bring your next big idea to life. And if you've been posting content, grinding out videos, or trying to stay consistent, but you're not seeing the growth or client conversions that you're hoping for or expecting, then this episode, it's going to be for you. We're diving into why most advisor content fails to convert. And the one thing that separates random content from revenue generating content is your big idea. Now, some people may react, I don't know what my big idea is, but that's what we're here for, to help draw that out of you and be able to create a funnel that takes people through that journey. By the end of this episode, you'll understand how to turn your message into a lead magnet, one that pulls in your ideal clients and naturally does it in a way that can become predictable and consistent. So let's get started.
Nobody cares about motivational quotes. My one like is from my mom. I post every day. Why isn't my calendar full yet? Because, buddy, you're posting content with no big idea. You're basically yelling into the void. So you are telling me it was never just the algorithm? Nope. It's the eugorithm. So remember, build your belief, not just your post count.
So let's start with the problem, because this is where almost every advisor, sales agent gets tripped up. You're creating videos, maybe even posting consistently, but you can't figure out why nothing is sticking. No comments, no messages, no appointments, just crickets. Now, if I had a sound effect, I would have cued it right there. But it's not your content that's bad. It's that it's disconnected. You're telling 10 different stories with no single belief and tying them all together. It's like watching a movie with no main plot at all to the movie, like a choose your own adventure. And people end up not where you want them to. You might have great scenes, great graphics, even entertaining or inspiring, but nobody knows what your great big idea or story is about. They don't know what the journey, they don't know where you're taking them. They don't clearly know what the destination is or could be for them. So here's the tension. If your content isn't anchored to your big idea, the mission that drives you, it's like building a house with no foundation. building it on mud. Reminds me of a Bible story. The brick house, straw house, something. Maybe that's not a Bible story. Maybe that's a story, a children's book story. But either way, it might look fine on the surface, but it's not going to hold up under pressure.
I'm building my brand, posting daily, quotes, tips, selfies. Yes, it's all coming together. That's great, Bill, but you are missing the most important thing, your foundation. What foundation? Oh no, my brand, it's ruined.
The big idea. Without it, your content's just modern art. Let's fix that. Build a brand that actually stands tall and firm.
Now, let's try and clear things up. A big idea is not your slogan. It's more your mission statement. It's a belief transformation for not only you, but it's a belief transformation that you're trying to provide your viewer. It's the bridge between what your audience currently believes and what they need to believe before they're willing to work with you. Quick example, if your audience believes that saving more money is the key to a comfortable retirement, your big idea may be, it's not how much you save, it's how you structure your income when you transition into retirement. Hopefully you see the shift. And it's not marketing fluff, it's belief engineering, it's psychology, it's human behavior. And yeah, sometimes as a financial advisor, it feels like we have to be all of those things, including marketers. But we're trying to break that down and make it more simple for you so that you can apply your big idea. Every great brand, Nike, Apple, Tesla, they started with a huge belief shift. Think about it. The iPhone completely changed the world. That's the type of big idea. Don't recycle and regurgitate the topics that 250,000 other financial advisors are doing and you think, oh, I'll just do the same topic but put my spin on it. That's not a big idea. That's just a hey, same idea, better mousetrap. That's not going to work. It's not going to resonate, and it's not going to convert. And when you find your big idea and know how to articulate it, every piece of content you post starts pulling people in the direction that you want them to go, which is towards you and your ability to guide them to the one thing they really want. Now, before we get too much further, because I keep seeing questions come up, this was pulled for DMs, Finley in El Paso. Rob, I get it. The big idea is a belief shift, but how do I actually find mine? This is a very, very common problem, but this is actually my favorite thing to do. And so one of the things we were going to pitch at the end, I'm going to give you a sneak peek. I love helping advisors bring out. Every advisor has a deep-seated, great, bigger idea. And sometimes you just need somebody to help draw it out of you. And I'm willing to help make an offer for free to do that for you today, but you don't need to do that. If you have a good friend, somebody you confide in, somebody who knows you very intimately, just go out and have a cup of coffee and start throwing ideas around until they can confirm. If they know you, they'll be able to. Thank you, Jay. Hold that for a second on Jay. And the beauty of doing things live. And even a good friend, a spouse, one of your children can help bring out your idea and make it bigger and bigger and bigger until you have crystal clarity. All right, Jay's saying, love the line, turning your message into a magnet. Yeah, see, that's why I wanted to highlight this. Our goal in this episode is to turn your message into a magnet. We're going to show you how to do that. Thank you, Jay. One more question here. This is earlier from a DM. Okay, here's another. What do you think separates noise from real value in advisor content? That's a great question, Aria. And the reality is, your idea has to be a game-changing idea, not some small little incremental improvement on things we've all heard. I'm talking about digging deep and an idea that I know is in each of you, but it has to be unique, different, unthought of, unarticulated, uncommon, something no one's ever heard of before, and that people will get so excited about, it'll start influencing the change of their belief system. In short, start listening to your audience as you test this idea, because you got to figure out where your listeners' beliefs are currently, so that you can understand how do you get them from that belief to the belief that you want them to have, shifting their mindset on investing. Instead of saving, you're convincing people to get an investor's mindset and change their mind about the idea of leverage. I'm just giving examples, guys. And the difference between savings and an investing mindset could actually dramatically increase their retirement income and save the financial legacy of their family. We're talking, take your ideas, amplify them, make them bigger, and then listen to your audience to see if it's changing the way they think and they believe. Your big idea lives where their belief will demonstrate an actual change in behavior and give the listener a breakthrough.
I finally got it. My big idea, helping families plan for a better tomorrow.
That's a slogan, not a belief shift.
What is it then?
The big idea is not a tagline. It's a transformation.
Oh, I get it now. It transforms how your audience thinks, turning attention into trust and trust into action.
You got it. Now, just one more thing. Make sure you lay off the caffeine.
And without that big idea, here's what's going to happen. Your content's just going to feel random. It's going to be a bunch of noise. You're going to attract the wrong people. That's just as big of a problem. That's a waste of resources if you're attracting the wrong people. And you're going to be wasting time on posts that don't move the needle. Why would you do that when you could make adjustments or amplify and bring out your big idea? Everything, and you guys have seen this in some of our industry leaders, whether it's the idea of the LIRP, or for those of you who are advisor life insurance retirement plan concept, that was somebody's big idea. The power of zero is a big idea. The paychecks and playchecks was a big idea at one point in time. The tax bomb or tax-free retirement, these were all big ideas that people wrote books about, had radio shows, TV shows about, because the idea was big enough to draw in an audience that influenced their thinking and their behavior. But with a big idea comes change. Everything changes. If you're seeing change, you know it's working. If not, you're going to have to make your idea bigger. It will make you actually want to jump out of bed in the morning, because if the big idea is big enough, you'll be so excited to get out of bed and start articulating your message and writing about it, blogging about it, recording about it, and getting your social media content, because that's how much you believe in this big idea. And if you don't, it's not big enough. Your message becomes magnetic. It'll start to attract people, and it will consistently bring people back to want to learn more. Just kind of like your favorite podcast, a podcast episode you randomly land on and you get completely inspired by, and then you want to hit that subscribe button because you want to hear more about what that particular podcaster has to say. You start saying what your audience is thinking, but they can't quite express or articulate. But when they hear you say it with more clarity, they're like, yes, exactly. That's exactly how I feel. And every video, every email, every post moves people closer to changing their behavior and taking action, which really is booking a call to have a conversation with you. Your big idea is the sentence that makes someone stop scrolling and say, wait, that's exactly what I've been feeling. I just don't know. I didn't know how to say it or articulate it. And that's when you know you've hit marketing gold.
Here's what they don't tell you about your marketing. Most advisor content is so boring, even the algorithm falls asleep.
But I think I am giving value. I have downloadable PDFs.
Yeah, and I had like 3 likes on my motivational quotes. Most of that were family members, but I know I'll get more.
Sadly, that is all noise. You're posting a lot and saying a lot, but not saying something that matters.
Why? Because everybody else is saying the same thing a little different way. So you're not differentiating yourself enough for people to care because they've heard the message before in one fashion or another. You just want to add to the noise and be part of the message that's being ignored. Yeah, I've already heard that. I've already attended that workshop. I've already heard that message. Blah, 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 blah. If you're remembering nothing else from today, I want you to remember this. Your big idea, that's the foundational cornerstone building block. Attention, it's got to be big enough to grab attention. Problem is that you have to clearly communicate the problem that they may not be aware that they actually have. And then a solution that they've never heard about that solves a problem they weren't certain they had. And that will motivate them to change behavior, book a call, and land on your calendar. Big idea, grab attention, help them better understand the problem they may have, provide a unique solution they've never heard about, and they will end up on your calendar. That's your funnel in plain English. And if that's all you remember, rewind, snapshot this right here, put it on your wall, and ask yourself, am I including all 5 of these steps? And if people are landing on the calendar, you know it's working. All right. It's a journey, I'm telling you. It's a journey that you're going to have to take, and that you're going to have to take your viewer through. You're going to have to take someone on this journey in order to change the way they think and ultimately motivates them to change their behavior. Each piece of content that you create should lead someone from, I don't know who you are, I don't know if I trust you, and by the end of your content should convince them, I really need to meet with this person and have a conversation. Then you know it's working. If you're thinking that sounds great, Rob, but I don't know how to turn that into a digital marketing campaign, well, that part is not as important, because there's plenty of companies and virtual assistants that can help you with that piece, including our company, Advisor Marketing Hub. And you shouldn't have to wrestle with the tech, the funnels, the design, video content creation. That's our job. You don't need to be a marketer. You just need to be an advisor, coach, a guide with the next big idea. And then we'll build the system around it. Oh, there's a question. That's what I was looking for. All right. Rob, this flow makes total sense. But how, sorry, Rana from Fort Worth, but how do I know if my content is actually moving people through that belief journey and not just getting likes? Thanks, you, Rona. Great question. What I want you to do is I want you to look for depth, not vanity metrics. So please, for the love of God, stop paying attention to comments, DMs, views, watch times, impressions. If people are engaging with your story, if they're asking questions, they're reaching out, they're booking calls, your funnel's working. The goal isn't attention. It's action driven by a change in belief. And let me say that again. The goal isn't attention, although you need to grab people's attention. But once you do, it's action driven by belief. And if you're taking notes, that's the other note I would encourage you to make sure you have. But let's jump to the next video.
So that is my 60-step funnel I follow. Yep. So far, I had 0 appointments.
Unless your goal is total confusion and 0 clients, never build your funnel like that.
Your funnel needs to follow this flow. The big idea builds belief, content spreads it, the documentary proves it. And the calendar, that's where the trust turns into action.
So if you've been grinding on social media, posting videos and content, but still not seeing results, please stop guessing. Get some clarity. Figure out how to articulate your idea. Make sure it's big enough. If you needed help identifying or articulating your big idea, your message, and your funnel, I invite you, schedule a free 15-minute strategy call with me. It's schedule15minutes.com. I'll give you 15 minutes of time to just identify your big idea and then blow it up. We can help inspire you to see that your idea is so much bigger than you think it is. Sometimes you just need help dragging it out of you and articulating it. That's something that I can help you do. It's actually the absolute most favorite part of my job, is watching the transformation of me helping you change how you believe about approaching or articulating your marketing. Because when your message is clear, your calendar will be full. And lead into next week. Coming up next week, same day, same time, we will be taking a deeper dive into why funnels are missing the link between attention and conversion. A lot of you are getting attention, but you're not converting it into appointments that convert into business. And we're going to show you how you can take people through a digital journey using AI video that can actually become the engine that will grow your business. And that's it for today's episode of the Digital Advisor Weekly. I can't wait to see you get more visible change. I want to see you change the way people think and start converting your viewers into clients. Until next time, find your big idea, make it clear, change the way people think, and motivate them to take action. Until next week, I'll see you in the digital world.